The little pram motif can be used in many ways. You can attach it to a baby card or use as a gift tag, or make several of these and string them together, or sew them on a baby blanket. All these have the same number of stitches, only the yarn and the crochet hook are different. So the big one is wool, and I used crochet hook number 4 millimeters, and the tiny one is sort of thin crochet cotton, lace cotton, and I used hook number 1 millimeter, and the other two then are something in between. To make this, we start here and then crochet downwards here, and at the end make the wheels, and then after just cutting the thread we return to the top and make this here hood bit separately. So let's start. First I'll make a loop and chain 19. 1, 2, 18 and 19, and then I count backwards from the hook 5 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I'll make one treble there, and that treble in the British sense of the word. Americans call it double crochet, so that you have one yarn over and you attach it there. Like that. Then you continue the whole length of this chain to chain 1 and then another treble, skipping 1 and then going to the next one. Like that. And then you just continue, chain 1, yarn over, skip 1, hook into the next one and a treble, and so on until the end. So here I have this bit, first the corner where we turned, and then 8 trebles, and now I continue. I chain 5, 4, 5, and turn. This next thing I couldn't find an English term for it, but I'll show what it is. It's another different kind of this. This here that crisscrosses like that. You make it like a high treble, or 2 of them that crisscross. First of all you need 3 yarn overs. 3 yarn overs. Then you put the hook in through the first hole that comes from these trebles on the previous row, and then you take it, pull the yarn through, and then you start making a treble. You do it twice like that, but now you leave it there because you need to do the crisscross bit. So in the middle of the treble you make 2 more yarn overs, and you put the hook through the next loop on the row below there, and then again take the yarn and pull through 2 loops and 2 loops, just like in any treble. And at this stage you finish just like any treble, like that. And now it sort of doesn't look like anything, it's but you need the other side of the X shape there. So chain 1 and just an ordinary treble in the middle here. Like that. So now you have one that sort of crisscrosses in the middle, and then you make 3 more of these till the end of this here row. Chain 1 in between each. So I chained 1 and then I continue 3 yarn overs, the hook through there, and so on, just the same as before. So now I have the 4, and to make the other side symmetrical I make a high treble here with 1, 2, 3 yarn overs again, and put the hook into the same loop as where the end of that there was. 1, 2, 3 and finish. So now it's like this here, and then we continue to make the rounded bit and then the wheels at the end of it. First chain 3 and turn, and then you make 3 ordinary trebles into each of these bits that came from this here crisscross, and 1 between them each. So 1 yarn over into that there bit like that, and then 2 more into the same one, no chain in between. Like that, and then again in here in between the 2. My yarn is too tight. And then 3 again here, and then 1 here, 3 here, 1 here, 3 here, and 1 to the end. So that's that row done. When I'm looking at one that's already finished, we are now here, in here, and then we start to do the loops before the wheels. First, or all of them are loops of 3 chain stitches. So I chain 3, turn, and each time I skip, not counting the first one, I skip 2, and then I make a double crochet in British terms, single crochet in American terms. In other words, you attach it in there like that. Chain 3 and 1, 2 and a third, and you attach it there and continue the same way, 1, 2, 3 until the end of the row. So like this, and then the last one I just put my hook through this sort of gap here at the end like that, and then I chain 1 and turn and make a slip stitch in the middle of this here loop there, slip stitch, no, there, and then just pull the yarn straight through like this, and then continue, chain 3, 3, and then attach that to the next loop like that, double crochet there. Now we have 2 rows of these loops, and then again chain 1, turn, and attach it with a slip stitch in the middle of that there like that, and then again just the same to the other end, 3, there, And then we have one more row, and on that row we'll make the wheels. So chain 1, turn and attach it to the middle of the loop below, and then to form the wheel, chain 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and turn this thing sort of right round so that you really see the loop there, and put the hook through the first of those 8 chains and pull through, slip stitch like that. Now you have a loop. Then chain 1 and then right round this here, make 12 double crochets there, or American term single crochets. So just like this here, 12 of these. So it starts filling up like this here. So now I have 12, so that it just made the wheel a bit thicker, and then a slip stitch the base of the wheel like that, and then I need to get to the other side, so I make 2 more of those same loops we have all the way here. 1, 2, 3, attach it that there, and then the other one, and attach it again, and then you simply make the other wheel just like the first one in here. So that's that done, and then just one more slip stitch there, and then you cut the thread. So this is how far we are now, and then we'll need to do the top bit. Make sure you have your crochet in the right way around so that you see the loops that you just did at the bottom, and take it here and count 1, 2, 3, 4th from the right of these here loops in the first row, and I put my hook in there and pull the yarn through, and actually I use both sides for the first chain stitch so that it sort of stays better. Then I drop the other one, and then I chain 3 more, 1, 2, 3, and then I'll have 3 trebles more in that same there loop below. So trebles again in the British sense of the word, there, and chain 1 in between them, there, and 1 more. So that's the start of the top bit of the pram, and then I attach it to, skip over 1 loop, and then to the next one I just use a slip stitch to attach it there like that, and then chain 3 and attach that to the top corner. Again, just I use a slip stitch like that. So at the moment it looks like this here, and then I chain 1 and turn, and then double trebles so that you have 2 yarn overs, and you put the hook every second time in the gap between the trebles on the previous row, and every second time on top of one. So I put my hook there and make every time 2 loops like that, and then chain 1, again 2 yarn overs, and then into the top of the treble below like that, there, and again chain 1 and so on until I get to the end. There, now I'm at the end of that there, and then 1 more row, chain 1 and turn, and then just make double crochets or American single crochets through this here rounded bit until here where we started. And I'll put one every time, one in the gap between the trebles and then another one on top. So like that, there, one there, another one there, and so on, there. And then just a slip stitch to the end, and then you can cut the thread and pull that through. There. So that's it finished. And then depends what you're going to do with it, and also on how big it is. You could either carefully press it, I mean not too hot, depending on what sort of yarn you have been using. This one is cotton. And you can also starch it if you want to use it on a card or something, either using a mixture of sugar and water or glue and water, white glue, or then using some of the commercial starch things. But here it is.